So today we're shooting with the Voigtlander Nokton 40mm 1.2 Z mount. Jesus, all these things are long. But I'm shooting on the ZF again. I'm going to slow it down today. I'm going to stop this lens down, see how it does stop down versus wide open at the 1.2. Because I know a lot of you have questions on great, it's 1.2, it has that rendering, but what does it look like stop down? Is it the quality lens? Are we getting two great lenses in one by stopping down? So that's what we're going to do today. I think I'm challenging the Nikon ZF as much as I'm challenging the 40mm 1.2 lens in this shoot. Because I'm shooting really slow shutter speeds later and, mixed lighting. And I have it set on auto white balance. I really wanted to see what this camera would do. For me, I like the rendering of this lens at 1.2. And I will put all the settings on the images as they come up because I know everybody asks that, and I'm kind of lazy with that. So this time I'm actually putting them on there because it is for this lens. The rendering at 1.2 I think is spectacular. I had a couple comments saying, "Oh, it looks soft." I mean, maybe it's YouTube, but it looks really sharp to me. And I'm at a level where I would be really, really happy with this kind of sharpness on a 24 megapixel like this. I think it's great, but I understand that it's not an Apo, and an Apo lens is near perfection to me at f2. To get that kind of quality out of this lens, you have to stop down to f4.5 to f5. And believe me, when you stop down to f2 or f3, I mean, it's really good. I mean, really good, but it's still not at the Apo level. Would I be happy with this lens and this lens alone on the Nikon ZF? 100%. I have no question about it. I love the way this lens renders. I like the 1.2 for that look, and I also like stopping down for that sharp, clean look. And you'll see later on when we zoom in on some of the stop-down images. This was at 1/40th of a second, so I think IBIS did a pretty good job with this. I didn't even realize when I was shooting that I dropped down that much. But again, I'm torture testing this camera as well because I really don't know the camera as well as I should. Most cameras I shoot with, for such a long time before I use them professionally. And this one I haven't been using as much, so, because I'm using the Leica more than this one. But, after shooting it today, I'm really getting, used to the camera and, used to its limitations or lack thereof, actually, because it's really good. She wasn't moving. Hopefully I wasn't moving that much, but the IBIS definitely kicked in and worked. Now, outside, it's an overcast sky. There's not much to worry about. I wouldn't need an ND filter in this kind of weather. 1/2000th of a second, f1.2, and again, I'm staying at that ISO 100 throughout this whole shoot, and then just testing the ability of the camera. But I really, really appreciate the lens, the weight, the size of it. It is a really nice lens on this body. I can't say enough about it. And believe me, I've had this 41.2 in the Leica M mount, and I adapted it to Fuji cameras, and I love the quality there too. I know a lot of the M lenses do not adapt well to Sony's, but when Voigtlander makes a Sony version and or a Nikon version, they adapt their lenses to maximize the quality with the sensor they're using. Now this one is stopped down at 2.5, and I mean you can see that the quality is already stepped up quite a bit, and the rendering is beautiful. This lens, I can't tell you, like, you're going to be happy with it. If you're looking for that best of both worlds, not to mention that it's a 40mm, so it's like, give or take in between the 35 and the 50. But still, it's closer to the 35, obviously, but I'm still doing portraits of this thing, and it looks fantastic. And I wasn't even thinking about, having a problem with the portraits, or distorting her face or anything. It just worked. And it's beautiful for a portrait lens, I think. You're not going to go up to their face. I do go up to their face close, but you don't have to. And if you do, just keep them in the middle, and you won't have an issue with it. But here too, this is f1.2. background is beautifully rendered. I'm not even paying attention to the background that much because, because of the 1.2. But when I do move in to get a close-up shot, I'm paying a little bit more attention to the background when I stop down because, I just don't want like busy backgrounds. But 1.2, remember, the closer you get, the more blurry the background's going to be. The further away you're going to get, the more, less blurry the background's going to be. Lenses, now this is at 3.2, and the next one I stop down even more, and I'll zoom in on that one. This is really, really impressive for a lens to have this much character at 1.2 and be this clean when you stop down. Now, I'm not looking for chromatic aberrations. I didn't put the corrections on in Lightroom for chromatic aberrations. I just let it go. And again, these are completely raw out of camera. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, leave them below.